Welcome to our YouTube channel where we teach mathematics lessons for grade 8 up to 12. Okay, preparing people that are writing their grade 12 exam as well as grade 9. In this particular lesson, I want to concentrate on statistics and how it came in 2016 October exam. That is it. For school certificate, this is grade 12. School certificate, this is grade 12. We have also this one, which is what? General certificate education ordinary level. So this is what we usually refer to as GCE. So in this case, I want to look at how the question on statistics was phrased in this particular question paper. All right. So remember that this channel is meant for people that are writing their grade 12 exams as well as grade 9, and those that may want to keep their touch good with mathematics. All right, so let's go to statistics. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. My name is Mbondo Chaumba, a mathematics teacher at Nyumbayanga Secondary School in Lusaka, Zambia. All right, so let's look at this question. This is the question that I want us to look at, statistics. It is the second lesson of statistics, and we are looking at exactly how the question was phrased in this exam. The ages of people living at Pamo's village are recorded in the frequency table below. So we need to look at this frequency table. The first question is calculate the standard deviation. So as you can see, this is the grouped data. This is grouped data. So how do we calculate the standard deviation of grouped data like this one? How are we supposed to do it? So you should first understand the interpretation here is that the ages of those people between 0 and 7, between 0 and 10, they were 7. Between 10 and 20, they were 22. That's the understanding, okay? So we should be able to interpret the table or the frequency table in that manner. So how do we find the standard deviation of this grouped data? This is grouped data, okay? This is grouped data. There are two ways of grouped data. There is this one which is given in this form, which is in intervals, and there are those ones that are given straight away without, where you don't have the intervals, okay? So like in that is the question that I'm going to present in the next lesson. All right, so today, the 13th of February 2021, we are looking at this question. So this is the process that we are supposed to carry out in order to find the standard deviation. So we need to draw the table here. We need to do our table. Okay. Do the so this is what our table should look like. So we now need to know what is here, and remember, look at the question where we are coming from. In the other type of grouped data, we do not have this kind of an arrangement where we're given a class interval. Now, in this case, we need to know that we need to find the midpoint here. That is what is going to be our x there. We need to find our midpoint. So how do we find the midpoint? You add these two numbers and divide them by 0. So in this case, when you add 0 plus 10 and divide it by 2, you get 5. So 5 is what is going to be our midpoint. Are we together? Then you come to the second one. 10 plus 20 is 30. 30 divided by 2, what do we get? We get 15. So here we are going to write 15. Then the frequency, what is our frequency? For the first part, it is 7. For the second one, it's 22. So you have 7 and 22. All right. So let's first finish these two rows and see. So this first part, it is what? The first part here, f multiplied by x. F multiplied by x. So we need to multiply our f is 7 multiplied by x, which is what? 5. So when we multiply these two, what we get? We get 35. The same thing is what we are supposed to do here. What is our f for this row? It is 22. Our x is 15. Then when we multiply these two, what do we get? We get 300. 330. Can confirm it. 330. Then look at this part. What are we supposed to have here? This is the x squared. What is our x squared? What is our x? Our x is 5. So you need to square this 5. So when we square this 5, what do we get? We get 25. You should also know, we can come to this one. Our x is 15. What is it? The square of 15, it is 225. We should easily know them. Okay. Let's look at the last part. In the last part here, what we are supposed to know is we are supposed to multiply f, which is this 7, multiplied by x squared. So we're saying 7, which is this one, multiplied by x squared, which is 25. So we need to multiply these two. What do we get? 7, which is f, multiplied by x squared, which is 25. What are we going to get here? This is going to give us 175. Going to give us 175. Okay, so we do the same thing also here. What is our f in this case? Our f is 22. So meaning 22 multiplied by 225, which is x squared. F multiplied by this. What do we get? What do we get? Okay, this is going to give us 4950. Okay, this is what we're going to get here. So you move on now to the next one, which is what do we have? The midpoint. Now we are looking at the midpoint of what? Of 20 and 30. What is it? 25. So we write 25 here. Okay. Then we look at the frequency that goes with 25. What is it? It's 28, isn't it? So we write 28 here and then continue with this same process. Okay, so when everything is done, this is what we are supposed to get. You can confirm your figures here. You can confirm your figures with what I got. And then, since we have a formula, these exams we are given formulas, okay? In paper 2, formulas are given. Just write on the cover, behind the cover here. So here we are going straight to grouped data because we are looking at grouped data. Mean, this is x bar, which is our mean. The formula that we use is summation of fx over summation of f. And then standard deviation, we can use either this formula or this one. So I have opted to use the second one. So if you look at the second one, it has got 3 parts. And those 3 parts are what? Those 3 parts are the summation of f of x, meaning you add, which one? This part here. Are we together? You add this whole part here to get this one, which is needed in the formula. All right? Then we also have what? X bar. X bar is the mean, which is this one that we are supposed to find here. Then the summation of f. So after you have done everything, you should make sure that you add this part and this part as well as the last one, because these are the ones that are needed. The first two, we want them to help us find what? Mean. We want the first two to help us find mean, which we are calling what? X bar. And mean is found by the summation of f over the summation of fx over the summation of f. The summation of fx is what? 2820 divided by 100, which is this one here. Okay, then when we divide these two, what do we get? What do we get when we divide these two? You are going to get x bar is equals to 28.2. This is our mean. Okay, this is our mean. And just like I'm telling you, the formula that we need to find standard deviation, there are 2 formulas that are given. We need this one, summation of over summation of f minus x bar. This is the formula that I want us to use. These two formulas, like I mentioned, they're given in the exam. So they're given the two of them. So I've chosen the second one, just like I showed you at the... So I want us to use this one. But others use this one. You should still be able to get the same answer. As you can see, this is equal to this, equal to this. So we are using the second one. Okay. So this is the summation of what? Fx squared, which is this part here. So we are saying we need to make sure you do the same thing to your calculator. We have 9 over 100 minus 28.2 squared. Okay, so what do we get here? We need the square root, standard deviation. We need the square root here. So here you will discover that our standard deviation will be 12.95. That is if, then it will go on with some, then usually we need to leave our answer correct to 3 significant figures. So here we have 1, 2, 3. Now, this 5 will have to add a 1 to this one. So it will end up being, when you add a 1 to this one, you have 10. So from 10 again, you have to bring a 1. So it will be 13. 13 will be our standard deviation here. Okay. So this question, this part just carries 6 marks. This carries 6 marks. This carries 6 marks. Are we together? This carries 6 marks. So there's this other part of the question that says answer this part of the question on a sheet of graph paper. So this part that has to go on the graph paper. So meaning the standard deviation part, you need to use the answer booklet. So read this question. Using the information in the table below, copy and complete the cumulative frequency table. The cumulative frequency table. Okay? Cumulative frequency table. In the next lesson, we'll look at relative cumulative frequency table. Now, here we are looking at the cumulative frequency table. Okay, so this is what we are supposed to do here. We need to copy this diagram, this table, and put it on the graph paper. Okay, and I have already done that here. This is what we are supposed to do. Put it on the graph paper, this part. Okay, hope you are able to see. Then we are supposed to complete this part. So what we are writing now here, this is the cumulative frequency table. So what are we supposed to do? We are adding these numbers cumulatively. So the first one is 7. The first one is 7. Okay? So this 7, you need to add it to 22. When you add it to 22, you get 29. Okay? Are we together? Then we are here now. So meaning this one has to be added to 29. When you add 28 to 29, what do you get? Okay? What do you get? Get 50. Get 57, huh? Am I right? You get 57. Then, to 57, you now add what? 23. When you add 23 to 57, what do you get? You get 80. Get 80. Now, to 80, again you add this 15. You are going to get what? 95. When you add this 5 to 95, you get 100 or 100. So this is what gives you, standard deviation gives you 6 marks. This part just of the graph paper, you get a mark, just 1 mark for completing this cumulative frequency table. All right? So there's we need now to read the question. What does the question say? Using a scale of 2 centimeters to represent 10 units on both axes, draw a smooth cumulative frequency curve where for x it should be from 0 up to 60, for y it should be from 0 up to 100. Okay, so we need to draw on the graph paper, we need to draw this horizontal line and the vertical line. So this is our starting point, and we are told that for x we should go up to 60. 2 centimeters, which is this one, should represent 10 units. So we have 10, 20, 30. Okay, so we go up to 60 here. Then up the vertical one, we go up to 100. All right, we go up to 100. Now it's important that we should know that. Look at this. Look at the table that we're using. The x, this is our x, then this is our y. So meaning down here we need to know that here, this side we're dealing with the age. Then this side we're dealing with the number of people. Here we are dealing with the number of people. It's very important to know that. Okay, age, then the number of people this side. Okay, so now read the question. What does it say? It says, draw a smooth cumulative frequency curve. Okay, so meaning we need to plot these coordinates here. These ones now, they have become our coordinates. Okay, the first one is the x coordinate, the second one is the y coordinate. So the first one is 10,7. 10,7, where are we? We're here, 10,7. This is our 10,7. The second one is 20,29. 20,29. 20,29 should be here. Okay, and the third one is what? 30,57. 30,57, 57 is here. 30,57. Then 40,80. 40 is here, so we're going up where we have 80, this point. Okay, then 50,95. 50,95. So 50, this is our 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the last one, which is 60,100. 60,100. So 60 takes us here. So this is what our period is going to look like. So we need to join these points now. We need to join these points. Okay. Now we have to be careful. In my case, I'm using a pen so that it's clearer. So I have to be very careful. I have to be very careful. I think I can bring it to 0 here. This is how the curve is going to look. This is the cumulative frequency curve. This is the cumulative frequency curve, but then the cumulative frequency table is this one. Okay, you've seen how we were accumulating these numbers until we get the total here, which is 100. The number of people there, 100. Okay, so that is that. So let's go to the next question. Let's go to the next question. The next question is saying, showing your method clearly, use your graph to estimate the semi-interquartile range. The semi-interquartile range. I have also added one question, which is the 40th percentile. So let's see the process here. Semi-interquartile range. Okay, this is semi-interquartile range, semi-interquartile range, okay, is equal to the upper limit minus the lower limit divided by 2 semi. So in other words, when we are looking at upper quartile minus lower quartile, we are just talking about interquartile range. Interquartile range, we just use this part. So when we are dividing by 2, then that becomes semi-interquartile range. I hope you're getting me that. You're getting my point. So how do we find the upper limit and the lower limit? How do we find them? The upper limit, which is this one, we use this one, the 3/4 of our total cumulative frequency there. Our total cumulative frequency, which is what? The total, I'll take you back to that. It is 100. When we added the cumulative part, it went up to the total. This total is what you get. Okay? Get what is on the table. What is on the table here. This part here is what you are going to get. Alright? This is what you are going to. Okay, so when we use with the upper quartile, we say 3/4 multiplied by 100, which is our total. If your total there was 40, you are going to put 40 here. If your total was 68, you are going to put 68 here. Okay? If your total was 70, you are going to put 70 here. Okay? So in our case, we have 100. So we're using 100. So this is what we are getting. And then the lower quartile, we are getting this one. And then these are not our final answers, but they are leading us to the answers. So we go to the vertical axis, then so here, what am I saying? For the lower quartile, we have what? 25. We have 25. So we have this side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is where we have 25. So we need to draw a dotted line that comes to the curve here. When we get to the curve, we also come down with one of those lines there. The one that is coming down right here. So what is this number here? If we can take the readings, this is 19. So we are going to say the lower quartile is equals to 19. Remember, if these are years, because we're talking about age, this could be 19 years. Okay? Then we go to 75, which is the upper quartile. We go to 75. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We do the same thing. Okay, so this is our upper quartile, which is now bringing us from the, it's bringing us to what? We can take this one, it's 40, it's 38, okay, because we're coming from this, so this is 38. So we take this one here as 38. So our upper quartile, we are not using that 75. 75 has helped us to get this part, the answer from the lower axis, the vertical, the horizontal axis. So now we are going to use these two, 38 and 19, instead of those ones that we got 75 and 25. So our upper quartile here, when we come to the formula, it's what? It's 38 minus 19. So if the question was just talking about the interquartile range without this word semi, whatever we're going to get here was going to be our answer. But because of semi, we have to divide this by 2. Okay. So when we subtract here, we get 19. Okay, you get 19. Now 19 divided by 2, you get that your semi-interquartile range is going to be equal to 9.5. 9.5. This is what is going to be our answer. So just like I'm saying, if the question was talking about interquartile range, we were going to get 19. 19 was going to be our answer. The upper limit or the upper quartile, this is 38. The lower quartile, it is 19. the middle quartile, maybe I can say something about the middle quartile. The middle quartile, which is Q2. This one, we say it is 2 over 4 multiplied by the total here, which is 100. And it's the same as 1 over 2 multiplied by 100. Because you can simplify this part to be. So this will give you 50. And the middle quartile can also be called what? The median. Can also be called the median. Okay? Can also be called the median. So when you get this 50, 50 is not your answer. You do the same thing. You come to this 50, you come to the curve, you go down. Whatever you're going to get down here becomes your answer here for the middle quartile. All right? So basically, then we have a question which is the 40th percentile. The 40th percentile is the same thing. So we need to find 40% of the total. The total here. In this case, our total is what? Is 100. If it was 50 here, you put 50. It was 45. If it was 70. So when you simplify this, you go back to 40. So meaning you have to come to 40 here, do the same thing. A dotted line, you again come down with this dotted line, up to this point. What are you going to get here? You get, I think, 24. So you're going to say the 40th percentile, you write it in full. Percentile is equals to, what do you get? 24. 24, because there are questions that talk about percentiles. So you should be able, I'm trying just to cover everything. So otherwise, thank you very much. This is how these questions do come. So this is a classroom. This channel is a full-time classroom. At the end of each lesson, we do give an exercise. So I'm going to give you an exercise right now. Okay. Okay, so we can look at this one. Now this one just talks about semi-interquartile. Okay. Oh, just talks about interquartile, like what I was emphasizing. Okay, so this was 2019 November. Okay, so we also have this one. Also have this question here. Copy it. Standard deviation there. So you have seen this one. Your total here is going to be 48. It's actually mentioned here saying 48. So your total here is going to be 48. That's what you're going to be using. When you add, you're going to get 48 here. So that's what you're going to be using. Okay. This was GCE 2017. And this was 2017. It also exactly like the first one that we did. Okay. This was 2015, before the syllabus was changed. The concept is one and the same. So okay. Okay, so this brings us to the end of this lesson. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share, comment, like. Please do everything. All right. Thank you so much.